Gotta do it like that, you know. I'm my granny child, y'all. I'm my granny child. All right, so today is Christmas. I am making a traditional soul food. Dinner today is going to be cornbread, collard greens, cornbread from scratch, no Jiffy. And it's no shade to Jiffy because, baby, I definitely use some Jiffy. Making fried catfish and fried shrimp. I might make a banana pudding. I might just eat some chocolate chip cookies. I don't know. But there is a video for the banana pudding that is up, so you can check that out. Easiest banana pudding in the world. So as you can see, I got my clean greens here. I already broke off some of the stems. So basically, I'm going to just cut these up. Now, I do run into a problem because I don't have another pot. So I'm gonna cut these up. And then as you can see, I got some good old smoked turkey necks, some chicken broth. I'm gonna add more water. You can choose to use all chicken broth if you want to, that's your business. I'm just using this because I don't like to run out of chicken broth. I could go to the store tomorrow though. Anyway, this is onion and garlic. This is about 4 cloves of garlic and a half white onion. Feel free to add as much as you need to. I'm gonna show you first how I start off doing the broth, and then while the broth is cooking, I'm gonna cut up these greens. So, let's take it to the stove. I like to saute these just enough to where you can smell, it's already fragrant, you can already smell it, but just enough to get everything going. To me, I feel like this makes the flavor come through faster and gives the greens a better flavor. Once again, do your greens how you want to do them. This is just how I do mine. Alright, so now as you can see, they're a little bit softer looking. I don't want the garlic to burn. I do want it to kind of get a little brown skin, and it's already doing that. So we're going to go ahead and toss in 2 turkey necks. Now feel free to put in what you want. I did get turkey because that was convenient. The pack of neck bones was really big, and I know I won't use that many. So now I'm going to go in, and I'm going to put just enough to cover that bottom. Just enough for now. Now, I do this in steps, okay? See how it gets all like gravy-like? My goal when I make my greens is to let this cook down, this water here, and then I'll do it like twice like that where I let it cook down, and then I put everything in there. So, okay, see how it's cooked down a lot? See how there's hardly anything left? I'm gonna do it again, just a little bit. Just enough to cover that bottom, and a little bit more. Because the goal is to get those turkey necks to tenderism. We're trying to get them to tenderism, baby. Tenderism. I like that word. So anyway, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to fill this all the way up in a few minutes. Once this cooks down, I'm going to fill this all the way up with broth and some water. And then I'm going to cut my greens up and put them in there too. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of that in there. The rest of that chicken broth. Look at that. Look at that. Tell me that broth don't already look delicious. See, that's my trick. For getting it to look really good. I gotta get some shaving cream so that my lens quits getting off. But look at that broth. See that? Already looking like it's gonna be some good ass broth. So then I'm gonna add about 2.5 cups of water here. Probably another 2.5 cups because it's gonna cook down some. Because essentially I'm gonna let this boil for about 30 minutes or so, and then I am going to put the greens in. Okay, so I added a total of maybe like 9 cups of water to this. So you'll probably need anywhere from 12 cups to 15 cups, I guess. No, because this is 4 plus 9, so 13. So anywhere between like 10 to 13 cups, depending on how much broth you like. So I am going to let this come to a boil, and I'm going to let it simmer on low. And then I'll put the greens in after about maybe 30 minutes to an hour. I really want the broth to be rich. I feel like that's the trick to the greens, is to make a really rich broth for them to go into. And then also, when I get back to the other clip, you guys are gonna see how small I cut my greens, and I think this also makes a difference. All right, so I kind of like to gather up the greens that look the same size, but you know, I don't have time to be all this extra fancy today. So I usually break the first layer in half, and then I just slice mine thin. I just feel like they cook faster, They don't have to be, I don't know why people do them super thick. I feel like this is as thin as I like to go because I don't want them to turn into mush. But I don't like my greens. I don't know. I don't know why it takes people hella years to cook greens. But for me, we're going to cut them right on down like that. Okay? So, take some more. A similar size. That's a big one. These two are good right here. It's a little stemmy right here, so I pull that off. But for the most part, yeah, I personally like a little stem in my green. So that's just me. I feel like the stem holds a lot of flavor. Once again, do what you will, okay? All right, so now I'm back. I have a mortar and a pestle. So I'm gonna grind up my seasonings that I'm gonna do for the seafood. Now, when it comes to the seafood seasoning, I am going to be adding these 3 here. And then for the greens alone, it'll be just these seasonings here, plus like a splash of vinegar, a splash of sugar, a bay leaf. I think that's gonna be it for the greens. But yeah, with the fish, it's gonna be all of these seasonings, plus cumin, thyme, and Old Bay seasoning. So I'm gonna show you how I grind all of these up. I'm gonna make a big batch because the same seasonings is going on the fish is also going in the fish fry. I'm gonna make a really easy, quick French fry. Fish fry is just cornmeal, flour, and a little bit of cornstarch and seasonings. That's it. That's all you really need. I'm gonna toss it all together when it's time to fry it. You guys see that. Then I'm gonna go on to making the cornbread from scratch. Really easy to make cornbread. All you gotta do is look up a recipe. I'm using my grandmother's recipe, sort of, kind of, so I'm eyeballing it. So we're gonna cross our fingers and hope that it comes out right, okay? So stay tuned for that. Don't worry about these old seasons that was in there. That's just how it goes. Put a good amount of paprika. I'm a heavy seasoner, baby. I do not play about my seasonings. Like, are we cooking or not? And since it's gonna be going into a fish batter, I feel it's even more important to heavy season. Act like you don't want to come out, y'all. And see, thyme leaves are a little hard, so I feel like you need that. You know what I forgot? I forgot to add some oregano to this mix, so. We add a little bit of oregano, thyme, and then we're gonna add some cayenne pepper to this. Just a little bit, maybe a little bit more. Okay. Gonna add some Old Bay seasoning, give it a little bit of zing zang, you know what I mean? Give it a little bit of zing zang zing. And then also, I'm gonna add a little bit of oregano. I know that looks like something else, don't it? It's oregano. Okay. So now, okay, take that and we're just gonna slowly do this to it. See? I would lean it, but it's gonna spill. So look at that beautiful seasoning already. So all you gotta do is slowly grind it on up to the grinding of your desire. Okay. Look at that. Beautiful. I highly recommend tasting your seasoning. This does not have a lot of salt to it, at least from what I put in there. So I'll be adding some salt to this. Not too much because fish is salty itself. So I don't want it to be overpowering. I feel like that's another reason why I have a hard time with soul food places is because their food is usually too salty. I really went to a young woman and a young man were running this bomb-ass food truck in Vegas, and I'll link them down below because, baby, her food inspired me to get in here and make some because I haven't made any soul food in a while. But she's not open every day, but I'm going to put it down here. If you're in Vegas and it's a Sunday, go see them. Honestly, they have the best soul food I've tried in Vegas. Wasn't too salty. It was perfectly balanced. I do wish she served cornmeal with her greens, cornbread with her greens, but baby, the way that fish and them greens taste, it tastes like somebody grandma made them. So she definitely knows what she's doing. So this is the seasoning here. All right, so this is the shrimp. I personally like to leave a little bit of little bit of liquid on my shrimp because it helps everything adhere together. So I'm going to sprinkle this in. Now, I may have to make some more, but one more pinch for good measure, y'all. But I like my seafood flavored. Like, I don't care. Even if you're going to fry it, like, it does not matter. Is it peel? Oh, thought I didn't get them all. But yeah, I like my seafood heavily, heavily seasoned. And that is one thing that I have noticed out here in Vegas is that the seafood is absolutely, like, it's rare that it's nasty. Might be a little salty, but the flavor is usually always on point. It just be salty as hell, and I just can't deal with salty ass seafood. Seafood is already gonna have some salt to it. So look at that. Look how beautifully seasoned that is. You know what I mean? Like, beautiful. So I'm going to let these marinate in the fridge because, of course, we don't want them to spoil or anything weird. And then I'm also going to cut up the fish. That's why the chopping board is out right there. I'm going to cut the fish up, and I'm also going to season that and put that in the fridge. All right, so these are some pretty hefty sized pieces of catfish. Got these from Smith's. So I'm gonna, it's a little bit of bone. I don't know if I should pull that out. Trying to without ripping the whole damn fish, but I'll just make sure to cut that when I cut across. So yeah, I'm gonna cut these in half. I think I like me a little fish fat, so I'm gonna leave it. But I'm gonna cut these in half essentially. So let's just go on and do that. Cause baby, we greedy up in this house, okay? Listen, ain't got to tell us twice. So, I love the tip ends of fish when they get fried. Oh my God. So we're just gonna move that on out. I always kind of feel, cause catfish can be a little tricky. Thank God I ain't got to catch it and clean it myself. Because then, baby, I mean, I could. My grandmother showed me how. But, like, who wants to do that, honestly? Do I know how to fish? Yes. Am I going to be the greatest fisherman? No. But I know how to fish. So, I'm going to move this to the side, actually to the sink. Because now I don't think there's anything I need to do. So, we're going to take some of this. Now, with the fish, I feel like I can be a little different. See how, look at that. Look at that. That's how I like my fish to be seasoned before you fry it and give it to me. You see the camera was shaking because I was bouncing with it. Listen, you got to season that fish, baby. I got plenty of season. I'm not worried if I run out. If I need some more, that's fine. But baby, you got to season that fish. Like, don't be giving me no nasty, unflavored ass fish. Okay, that is just terrible. But yeah, just, you know, just take your time with it. You know what I mean? Just take your time with it. And massage it. Okay, I sound pervish now. But either way, y'all get my point, though. And I'm going to go back and do the backside, too. So, oops, has it got the flash on? Okay, so yeah, there we go. You know what I mean? It's all up in there. That's how I like my fish to be, nice and flavored. Like I said, and this, I love fish. Most places I've had actually out here fry the fish good. It's just some places have been salty. But once again, that food truck I went to, baby, I'm not gonna lie, she got everybody beat that I didn't try it. So that is the fish. I'm gonna let this sit and marinate. Look at that seasoning. Seasoning. All right, so now we are back. And look at that. Beautiful, beautiful looking greens. I mean, not greens, Lord, they ain't even in there. So these haven't quite hit tenderism yet because, you know, smoked turkey neck. So I am going to continue to cook these. I'm going to cook these for about another 30 minutes or so. I am going to add a little bit more broth because, as you can see, the broth cooks down, but it looks rich. You want your greens for your broth. Whenever you make greens, you want your broth to, at minimum, be this color. I want to go a little bit deeper. I remember one time my grandmother made some greens. I think she had used, excuse me. I think she had used turkey necks. I'm not sure. Whatever smoked meat it was, but she cooked it so long. It was like this golden color. I don't have all that time. But one day I'm going to take time and cook it till it's like this golden, almost like the gold in this, but like a rich, rich gold color. So I'm going to let this cook a little bit more, and I'll be back. All right, so now it is time for me to put the greens in here. Like I said, it's not, they're getting there. You know what I mean? Most people, I've seen some people cut theirs up, but by the time the greens are done, they'll be nice and tender. They're tender now, but as far as like, you know, tenderism, it ain't quite there yet. But they look so good. The broth tastes, whoa. Broth tastes so good right now. I tasted it to see how it tastes. Might not need a lot of salt, honestly. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the greens in. Ooh, look at that. Yes, Lord. And if I feel like all of them won't fit, I can always save them and freeze them. So, no biggie. It looks like they are cooking right on down. So we're gonna keep going. Oh yeah, there's a lot of them in there. So I don't want them to burn or anything. So I'm not gonna crowd them, but definitely got some room in there. So. Oh yeah, a little bit more. A little bit more. And I could just make some more greens tomorrow. But I feel like I got enough room in there. So we're gonna keep going. A little bit more. And a little bit more. Okay. Yeah, he's got a lot of room still. I don't like super juicy greens. I like the thick, you know. I don't know. Oops. All right, so I was able to put all of these back in here. You feel me? Like, I was able to put them all in here, and there's still plenty of room. So I'm going to let these cook down. Give you guys like, I guess, 30-minute increments. So it's 5:28. So yeah, when we come back, you'll see what time it is too. Let me not forget. I don't want y'all to be like, oh, she ain't put no seasoning in. Some garlic powder. Guys, to put in lots of garlic in your greens, baby. I don't know what y'all be doing, but listen, over here we're gonna put lots of it. Onion powder. I like my greens heavily seasoned because I just feel like you need it that way, you know. Nice dash of paprika in there. I was going to add a little bit of chicken bouillon, but the broth is kind of salty, so I don't know. We're gonna wait and see, but I am definitely gonna add in some black pepper. And then after the 30-minute mark, I'll add in some sugar and vinegar. Just a little bit, just a splash, okay? A little more pepper than that. A little more pepper. Okay. So we're gonna stir that on up. Keep in mind, that's why I make the broth like that, because you get a lot of flavor from the turkey necks or any type of smoked meat if you boil it out first before adding any seasoning, because then you'll kind of know where to go with your seasoning depending on your taste preferences and depending on your cooking skill. But as you can see, these are cooking down real nice. So I'm gonna monitor them. I'm gonna check on them probably every like 10 minutes or so to make sure that they don't burn or stick. But then I'm going to give you guys the 30-minute updates, okay? Oh yeah, and I forgot. Oops, I forgot. Gotta put a little bit of cayenne pepper in them, just a little bit. I want my greens to have a little bit of kick, you know? Not too much, but just enough to make it go a little bit, you know? So, let me know. Who is it? Oh my God. Tell me I'm not here. Tell me I'm not here. Let me know. Is that tenderism? Uh-oh. I think I'm seeing some tenderism. I think I see some. Is that? I found it. Tenderism. Tenderism. Told y'all I would get there eventually. Just gotta let it cook. Big Bill frying things. Let me cook. Excuse my husband in the background, y'all. If you have, oops, damn, I gotta wipe that off now. You good?
You gonna say look nice, bro. When the song says, bro, you gonna say look nice. You know my motto every time we jam lit, it's your ass. I just got done smoking. So you know what's tight. It was one of them brothers, I think it was Shane, got sick.
Who?
The oldest Wayne. He said, fuck that. You know what it is. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of this shit. Raiders organization is, what is he doing that we made? Let him go.
Right.
What he running? Hey, the Chiefs been booed this year. I think that's because they robbed. They cheated me out of the Super Bowl, bro. Like, nigga, how y'all? Pat Mahomes, they was fucked up. Bro, y'all take Cuz in the back of the locker room to a nice little commercial. Injected that nigga with some shit and he came back and still. And won. How the hell he do that? He was hurt, he couldn't do that. Y'all really, they got $1 million doctor, and y'all got on that sign like he said, inject him with it?
Alright.
Give him the Beijing. Give that nigga the Beijing. Oh, let me see that. I'm here, bro. I'm here. Oh, he quit. You already recording over. Let me clip it. Charging is nice too now. Hey, she's playing. He been hurt today.
Who?
Mahomes.
Oh, really?
That's a bad injury, bro. You gotta understand what he was facing. Y'all call a long commercial break, and then he comes out looking hella doped up. And y'all end up winning. However y'all pulled that one off, nobody knows. I know y'all. Yeah, he jumped off. He jumped off. I can get 2 hands, solo, and I'm going to do it.
Like a relentless weed, moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms can keep coming back. Break away to what's possible with Tremfya. With rapid remission in 12 weeks, and fewer bowel movements and less abdominal pain in 4 weeks. Most patients achieve remission at 1 year, and some patients saw visible healing of intestinal lining. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Backed by over 15 years of clinical research. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today.
All right, do not panic that it looks like this because it's crispy, right? So now, I'm also take a pat of butter and rub this all over. Be careful. You can see it's brown on the edges, so this is why you now see me doing this part. And you know your grandma used to do this part.
And you still making it for good.
You gotta don't be afraid of the skillet, because honestly, it's not gonna help you if you are afraid of the skillet, honestly. Still, it's not gonna help you. That buttermilk all over it. Like such, yes, take your time and your clean fingers and do that right. Come with the plate. Now I'm a little nervous because my plate is a little small. I don't have another plate for this. So we're gonna pray. Okay. Looking like a straight Johnny cake. Ooh. Fucking up, y'all. Hold on. For that plate break. Ooh, I burnt my hand on that shit for me. All right. Almost scared myself to death, y'all. Ooh. Okay, almost killed us. Okay. But now we're gonna put that back in the oven. We're gonna let it brown. I think we're gonna turn the oven off because it is done, and I don't want it burnt. All right, it's 6:44, and look at these greens, y'all. Look at these greens. Look at that. Look at that. Perfectly done. So the stove is now off. At least for the greens. I got enough tenderism all through here. Look at that, I just moved in and it fell apart. So I don't want my greens to turn into mush. Look at that, look at that golden green color. That's how you know it's real. Get back here, look at that. Look at that. Tenderism. Tenderism. Oh, it fell apart, baby. That's how you do it.
I was just trying to think about it. I've been thinking of ways to make money. Because there's a lot of single women in the world. Talk about putting your best foot forward. Judge's best shave is not the best thing you get. I used to operate it for 1 year just to see what it do. You gotta make some bread off that motherfucker though. You know how many single women is out here that don't get thought about?
Now sailing from Los Angeles, it's big time. Only on Royal Caribbean.
This fish though, I think this fish gonna be extra flight.
I'm gonna be honest something with the app. What is it catching?
Oh, they finna make a Mad movie.
That's why I gotta bring my ideas to life, man. I got some ideas. The Mad movie, I don't see that.
Bring your bitch ass here, boy. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, it's gonna happen. Oh, damn, I don't know about that. I didn't want that to happen.
I'm like, yeah, like, I had you with some dairy phone. And that's gonna bring this on today. Everybody got
That might be tight.
to get a fog machine out there and all that. Sorry, I've been diagnosed without y'all gotta put some respect on my name.
Ooh, okay. Okay, let's see if it's busting, you feel me? Now I like a little hot sauce with mine, you feel me? I like a little hot sauce. So we go, you know. You know. It's been in the fridge. You're supposed to put it in the fridge. Alright, let's see. I'm not here at a football game. That okay though. Right here. See that? Flavor. See the steam? Look close. You see the steam coming off? That is no AI, baby. The cornbread, let's see. Gotta do it like that, you know. I'm my granny child, y'all. I'm my granny child. All right. Merry Christmas. Have a good one.